Mattia is going to be talking about the state of GeoNode, so I'm going to hand over to him.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I will try to speak as loud as possible, but in case, please let me know. Today, we're going to have a short overview of what is the state of GeoNode and what is going to be happening in the next few months and in the next quarter. Okay, so just a brief introduction. Geosolutions, which is one of the sponsors of the FOSS4GE, it's almost a global company, we'll say. We collaborate all around the world, and we are mainly focused on open source projects, like, as you can see, GeoServer, MapStore, GeoNode, and we also collaborate with GeoNetwork. Of course, Geosolutions will not stop with this product. We are involved in many other open source projects, but these are our main focus. We can offer different kind of solution about that. We have enterprise support, development and deployment, customized solution, and we also perform professional training on all these kind of platforms and the products that you see here in the slide. Okay, so of course we are strongly supportive of all the open source, and we are actually participating in the OGC and so on, and we also support the standards critical to GeoInt. But first of all, what is GeoNode? For who doesn't know what is the platform? GeoNode is a platform for pure management and dissemination of geospatial data. It's meant to be a common point for non-specialized GIS user to be able to upload, interact, edit, and manage their own spatial data. It's meant to be, of course, all the professional can use it, but his focus is for the user that doesn't have enough knowledge with the code and so on. Here, as you can see from the slide, there are a few of what GeoNodes handle. They handle dataset. It could be spatial dataset, vector, and raster data. We support a number of different kind of extension about that, shapes file, CSV, GeoPackage, and so on. Of course, there are other kind of products that GeoNode offers, like dashboards and GeoStories. As I was mentioning, the user can edit the layers and the metadata of it, and using the API to expose that metadata in using CSW and VRS API and so on. You can also edit the data itself inside the data set. It doesn't stop only on the metadata of it. Of course, GeoNode expose a lot of different protocols, as you can see, WMS, WFS, and so on. And of course, it has their own REST API v2 that will manage all the data inside GeoNode and can also be used to expose information of it. GeoNode mainly works in 3 ways. It has local files where the user can upload their own data through the platform. It can use also remote service to integrate the data set inside the platform. This means, in a few words, that if you have your external WMS server, GeoNode can use that external service to let the user see, interact, and play with the data. There you can see there are few of the remote services that GeoNode supports. There can be any WMS service, another GeoNode itself. We can also take data from another GeoNode, ArcGIS, or everything can be done with a custom harvester. There is another work in progress where we will support in the future. Instead of let the user upload directly the data, you have the data in a remote place, and we will let GeoNode read the data directly from there. So all these data are summarized in GeoNode as dataset, which is the part related to the vector data and the spatial data, while documents are more related to images, PDF, videos, audios, and so on. Sorry. what they use with data set and documents, you can generate other kind of resources that are listed here. There are maps that can be seen as an aggregator of multiple data set in a single place. It's really powerful when you have data that are associated and you can have them in a single place. Geostories, where your data, tell a story or describe your own data. Especially it's useful for presentation, where you can have also the support of real data along with your text, there are dashboards. This is more technical. You can generate graph, tables and so on with your data. And then there is possible to generate your own geo app. It's possible this part to be extended. So there is not much limit of what you can do in GeoNode. All the resources are handled in GeoNode. As you can see, there are OCC. There is the part related to the HTML file for embedding them in external services. And of course, everything is exposed through REST APIs. So this is more or less the architecture of a standard GeoNode deployment. As you can see, there is the part related to the web application. It's made with Django. It's the part that it serves the information to the user. Behind of it, there is Postgres with the Postgres extension to manage and store data. The raster data are stored, of course, on the file system. They are not imported in Postgres. And then we have a GeoWeb cache in GeoServer that takes care of GeoNode. Everything is exposed, as you can see, via different kind of REST like WMS, WFS, WMS, and CSW. The part related to the front end, it's used using MapStore. So as you can see, GeoNode takes almost the whole stack that Geosolutions supports. There are additional services like RabbitMQ, Nginx, and Let's Encrypt, Celery to handling the part related to the asynchronous work of GeoNode and to the HTTPS with Let's Encrypt, RabbitMQ for the queue system, and so on. So this is a sum up of what is the main software used in GeoNode. So we have React and MapStore Duo for the front end part, which is fully integrated inside the application with Django. On the behind, we have GeoServer for serving the data and PyCSW for the metadata. And in the end, we have GDAL and Postgres with Postgres for the data storing. Of course, GeoNode is not able to always address everything by default, but it's possible to generate what we usually call the GeoNode project, and is another than layout and a template that we provide with GeoNode pre-installed that will let you be able to completely customize your application, starting from the layout to the models behind and so on. Of course, GeoNode is open source. This is the link of the community of GeoNode, which does not include only GeoNode, but also external libraries that can be installed to expand what actually there are developer list, Gitter chat. Actually, we encourage you to in case you see something that is into it. This is a short release history of GeoNode since the first implementation with GeoNode 1. Currently, we are GeoNode 4.3. It's the latest stable version that has been released in May of this year. And what I'm going to do today is describe what happened with the release of GeoNode 4.4 in general, which a lot of different exciting updates. Of course, we encourage you to play with demo instances with public and free, of course. You can subscribe to them, register, start uploading your data, and play the platform. We have the development demo, which contains the latest update from the master branch. And then we have the stable demo, which contains the stable branch of GeoNode. please have fun, and everything is shared, everything is public. So if you want to contribute with adding new data and giving us your feedback on the platform, it's extremely helpful for us. So let's start a bit to speak about what is new in general from GeoNode 4.4.0. The first thing that we already included this in 4.3.0, but now it started to be an important resource inside GeoNode. It's including finally the 3D inside GeoNode. So if you have a 3D tile dataset, you can start uploading it and let the user play with them. Here's more brief description of what I do. You can upload them. You can extended what we have done. It could be uploaded as a zip file directly, or if you have a remote storage with all the information about the 3D tiles, it can be also uploaded remotely. So since in general the 3D tiles are quite big data sets, it can also be uploaded directly from remote. Everything it will be treated as a normal resource, so all the metadata, all the information are the same as the other resources. Then we introduce a concept of assets file. This it was an important step because we finally extend the relation between the resources and the files that are part of this resource. Now, of course, they are not still available for the user. We keep them from the backend, but in the future, there is we want to open also the possibility to have multiple files for a single data set and extend them to be also visible to the user. For now, we are still treating them as files related to the resource, but it's a huge step to finally open and divide the idea of one resource for one file. This is the stack that is going in along with GeoNode 4.3. As you can see, we have GeoServer 2.4 include all the CVAs fixed and backport. We have MapStore released on February 2024, and then we have Postgres with Postgres 3.3. Of course, these always aligned with the latest release of GeoNode. Most probably with the release of the next GeoNode, dependencies will be upgraded as well. So once we are done with GeoNode 4.3, there is the next step, which is GeoNode 5. Ideally, we will be able to release a candidate by September of this year, but most probably the final release will be on Q4 of 2025. So most probably by the end of the year. GeoNode 5, as I was saying, is already deployed on the development demo, so you will see actually the difference between the two versions of GeoNode, stable and GeoNode 5 on the development demo. What does GeoNode 5 include? So one of the key points in GeoNode is the metadata handling. So we completely redo the metadata editor for GeoNode, finally using JSON schema syntax for it. Everything is OpenAPI support. There is that since GeoNode 4.4.3 was not so easily open and customizable, so everyone can finally add their own custom metadata without having headaches. There is, of course, the validation on that. Everything can be pluggable and generated by as the user need. So this is an example, this is an overview of what is the new metadata editor. As you can see here, there are a lot of metadata that I don't know if you remember how it was in GeoNode 4.4, not 4.4. We had a wizard and you have to go through it. In this case, everything is updatable. It's using the JSON API and so on. So it's quite more powerful compared to what was before. And this is an example of the API that returns the actual JSON schema for the metadata part. Then we are going to introduce two important things. One is the replacement, fully replacement of a data set, and the other one is going to be the upsert of a data set. As a replacement of a data set means that if I updated one data, I want to fully overwriting it, I can do that now. It's going to completely override what it was done before. While the upsert, it's a little different. The upsert will just update what it finds that is the same and add the new information that are not existing anymore based on a primary key. This is quite helpful if you have a continuous streaming of data. You don't want to replace everything every time. So you can just append the data you have new inside your layer without actually having to redo everything from scratch every time. Of course, there will be a validation. This is still in the first phase. We will improve it. It will be released, as I said, with GeoNode 5. This is an example of the UI that it will be used for replacing the data set. I didn't have the screenshot for the upsert, but it will be the same UI where the user can decide which he prefer to do with the data that is going to upload. In the end, we also included a permissions register because in general, since GeoNode 4, the permissions were closed on the GeoNode environment. The permission registry will finally allow the developer be able to permission that are available in GeoNode by also creating them as equal, which means that each permission that you want to show just to the user, without actually storing the permission, now is possible. I want to close a single API for a single moment for a specific user without overwriting the permission. I can finally do that, and everything is pluggable and easily extended from the code. Then we finally have support for authenticated remote services, which means that if you have an external, I will take the example of GeoServer that expose a layer under a VMS endpoint, and it's requiring authentication. Now we can let GeoNode finally communicate with external service by working with the authentication itself. Of course, these services can be synchronous, so the user put that, take all the data, and it's finished. But with the harvester can be also scheduled, and there is a background task that will go. You can decide when the scheduling should start, how many data sets you should import, and so on. And then we made a huge work trying to integrate Map Store inside the UI in GeoNode. We reached a point where the user can customize GeoNode also through the Django template that for who probably played with GeoNode before, it was always a bit of a headache. Now everything's integrated. You can customize the layout. You can customize the catalog. You can also make multiple catalog in a single page, stuff that earlier was not possible. We also reorganize a bit the information, thanks also to the work on the new metadata editor. A new tab is added to the management, which includes not only the part related to the visualization or not of the dataset, but also to all the part related to the permission. Permission is by resource, so you can decide which user or which group can actually see dataset. These are going to be the upgrade of the software with the GeoNode 5. So the server has been upgraded, PyCSW has been updated to version 3, Django will be the latest version 5.2. The new map store has been included, and we started the support for Django 3.12. It's always better to have an upgraded version of GeoNode, security fixes, bug fixes, new feature, and all extra stuff takes along with you. It's always recommended to take the latest version available. Please go to the latest stable version. GeoNode 5 is not it will be by the end of the year. And that's it. Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
Thanks for the presentation. What is the plan regarding the Geoserver free version? Do you wait for more information on the roadmap? Because I see that on GeoNode 5.2.27. What do you wait more information on the Geoserver free to decide how you will follow up?
We didn't decide yet how to manage that. Just server 3 is not ready yet. It will be some ready by the Q1 of next year, if I'm not wrong. So probably will be a slow upgrade because there are different servers that is shipped with GeoNode. There are some customization that are done, especially for the OAuth communication between the two servers. So it will probably be a short, slow upgrade, but for sure for the next version it's planned to have GeoNode, just server 3 along with GeoNode.
Hello. Will you provide migration script from GeoNode 4.4 something to GeoNode 5 at some point?
Yes. By default, we always try to just let the user run Django migrations for the upgrade. Of course, GeoNode 5 will introduce some breaking changes that will require manual upgrade. We are slowly, while we are doing the work, providing the instruction for the upgrade. And there are already some information on the wiki in the GeoNode repo, but we always try to be as smooth as possible the upgrade. So unless there is some exception, probably will be just enough to run the normal Django migration to do that.